Zog Zog. Wrong intro, I guess. What is it? Well, hello everyone, it's Armstrong here from Mother Miniatures, and of course we have October. And as well, today is the Diecast Mafia challenge day. Yeah, we are working on a pickups, really, from like 70s, 50s, 70s, whatever. So I have in here this Chevrolet, and I think it is a 53, yeah, Chevy pickup. And as well I have this in here, Opel, I think it is. Yeah, it is a 58, I think. And like yellow color kind of always almost wins, yeah. But I actually decided to go with Chevy because, I don't know, for me Chevy kind of always wins. So today we're gonna be orkifying this Chevrolet. So technically it is still October build, but as well as Diecast Mafia, yeah. So split personality build, let's just say, yeah. And let's just stop talking and get on the table. And if you can see, I have a different background than usually because I kind of flip 45 degrees and go back to my old desk. Finally clean it after about 2 years. So yeah, let's get on to it. And here we are on the table. Today I'm trying a different angle, so we are like at about 15 degrees ish. At the same time I can see the screen and what I'm doing, which is very nice, yeah. So let's try to do the build without shaking the camera too much. So first of all, of course I have to disassemble that. And like I said, we're gonna be orkifying this, but we don't gonna actually be putting any orcs into it. Maybe like a single grot or something like that, yeah. We will see. Generally I have no idea, ideas to put orcs into it, but what I wanted to do is to get rid of the wheels. And that was easier because of this, what scale we are working with, which I love, if I don't have to fight with everything all the time. Come on, tighten up. Perfect. So just the wire that is annoying me. There we go. Okie dokie. As more eagle-eyed of you can probably see, I plan to make it a walker, yeah. So we have the truck itself, and I'm not doing I think that I'm even gonna leave the paint job as is, yeah, just with a little bit of add-ons to the entire thing, yeah. But generally, orcs really don't use that, but this is gonna be for my civilized, somewhat civilized society orcs. So yeah, let's try and see how those legs gonna fit. To be honest, I didn't even try dry fit that because me, I have some idea and then it have to be happening. I don't like this piston in here, so I'm gonna cut it off, but I think it's gonna be sitting somewhat nicely like that. I'm assuming that I'm gonna need a lot of baking soda or sanding, just to get it flat. So clippers, sorry about that, I forgot to prepare for this, but there we have. This is clipped off. I could probably clean it off completely, but orcs, who cares about that? If I just sand it like that, I should have a sanding stick in here. Yep. Like I said, surprisingly, even though I'm not really prepared, I'm somewhat prepared. So now that we have some flat surface, it should be much easier to attach in here. But then this little bit is causing me trouble under this angle. Yep, this is just the resin. So just a little snip, and this leg gonna fit in just fine. Just give it a little bit more space in here. Alright, so let's leave it aside. So we have one leg. Let's just put it like that. So I'm gonna know one front leg, then the other. Of course, I have to cut off that piston because it's not going in here. The other leg. Okie dokie. Is it correct? Yeah, about this angle. So I can leave it as is because this little bit doesn't actually interfere with the, well, it does a little bit, but let's just try it like that. And then the back legs, again getting rid of those pistons. Yeah, those legs are actually designed for the Dune Crawler from Warhammer 40k for the AdMech faction. So they look very spidery, very organic. Actually, you know, this could be a Chaos thingy as well. Maybe Chaos Doom Crawler, whatever. It's a 3D printed piece, so. So that's gonna be in here. So that's this leg. Okay, and now of course we're gonna do the other one, so just cut off the piston straight away. Again, doesn't make sense to keep it. And this gonna go like that, so just a little bit of sanding. Okie dokie, that should fit. Just need to cut off this. It might be the matter that the casting isn't actually, you know, evenly distributed somehow. Not distributed, evenly built. So one side is more sticking out than the other. It doesn't show, you know, to the naked eye, but yeah. Okay. So there we have this. Now I want to fill up the back, yeah? I don't want this to be just empty space. So I decided to grab those, you know, crates that I 3D printed, like 40 or 50 or 80 of them, I don't know. I like them. They are just, you know, very nice and chunky piece of plastic that can fill up gaps. So those two gonna go together like that. They're gonna go in here. Then we're gonna have one going to the back, so I'm gonna sand. There is like a little edge in here when you look. It's from casting process, not from casting, from printing process. It was basically a leg of the print, a little bit bigger, so it's not gonna disconnect from the print bed. The reason why it is happening like that, it is because my bottom couple of layers are overexposed, so they actually go a little bit, you know, like ploppy, I would say. I don't know the right word in English, but yeah. Okay, so we're gonna glue this like that, and then we're gonna have one just sitting on top of this as well. Oh, excuse me. But you know, let me just see if that's not gonna be overextending. It will be. That's problematic, because what I wanted to do was put one of those legs as a spare on the back. Because you will think about that. If I just glue one like this as a spare. I think that, you know, for the spare I could probably just figure something else out than those crates. Come on, come on. Let's just see. Maybe that barrel. If I put those two crates like that, and the barrel, could we fit a spare? Not really. Okay, what if I put them like this? Okay, I could have a spare then. And then I can just put one on top of them. Okie dokie, so that's fine. I can just do this way. So now I'm just gonna seize the clip, glue those three pieces together, and leave all of those legs separately. And of course we're gonna have a gun which gonna be sitting on the side in here. Yeah, so let's just give me a sec. I just don't want you to look at how the paint is drying. Yeah, the only thing that I want to do as well, before I cut the clip, is we're gonna cover that window, because that's where let me just think, because I have this entire thingy and I have the cable, the power cord for it. If I flip the power cord, can I do something crazy? Like, I'm just thinking, like I said, most of this was planned, but I'm just thinking, if I use this power cord, because it's a lovely piece of detailing. Yeah, but then it doesn't work like this way. It have to be something on top. This way it doesn't really fit anywhere. So what I'm gonna do, I want to cover those doors then, to have a mounting point for this big plasma. So I'm gonna open that, and we're just gonna cover it with a piece of plastic card. Let's hope that the super glue is actually not stuck. Of course it is. So like I said, I want to avoid as much painting as possible on this. So those doors going in here. Then I just add this. And once this bond, I just gonna cut around the doorway, so it's gonna be actually flush with it. And of course paint it, accordingly to fit with the rest of the build. So of course I'm gonna black bomb all of those legs, all of those crates, and be back once I'm ready to assemble the car. Okay, so I'm back, and I know that before going, to start doing the paint job, I was saying that I'm not gonna be doing a lot of paint job. But then I was sitting and I was like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and eventually it just ended up that this is probably one of the biggest paint jobs that I will do this year. Yeah. But let's start, so this side gonna be the traditional Orkish checker. I installed this pen from my wife to be able to run a fine lines. They are not perfect, and they never gonna be perfect in by my hand, because I suck at freehanding. That's why I prefer to actually build them out of plastic art. They turn out much better then. So yeah, This is a, just, you know, narratively speaking, you know, what I want this van to be. This is gonna be a, you know, somewhat of a, not van, this is a truck, yeah, in US. So this is a car enthusiast, yeah, but he actually works on a squeak farm. So this is gonna be a squeak farm delivery truck. So let's hope that those squares gonna turn out somewhat decent. Yeah, I'm not expecting this to be very good, but let's try. Especially on the curve surfaces, it is kind of hard to do this correctly. So you forgive me if they're gonna be crooked and all over the place. And now you see with this, yeah, I don't even know how to approach it. Would that be a bend or would that be a straight line? Just curved surfaces and me, not a big friends, yeah, but let's just try this. And probably just a curve down. That's gonna be probably the last line here. Okay, so we have this. This actually looks cool already. I like it. Okay. Where they put the tip of that pen? I just close it because it belongs to my wife and I don't want to be executed for destroying her lovely pen. Yeah, you know how it is.
Oh, there's a picture on the patch of bones.
Okay, so you heard, you know, that was a thread. If you heard me, you know, speaking in the high volume, you know what's happened. That was my wife. So now we're just gonna be filling them, you know, to create a checkerboard. And my gosh, this is a delicate job, not for a sausage fingers guy like me. Yeah, but let's do our best, expect the usual. Okay, I just gonna do it, you know, off screen and I'll be right back. So, decision, you know, to actually record it off screen was a good decision because it took me like 20 minutes. So yeah. Yes, so now this side I want to do the flames, and this is gonna be quite an experiment because I never actually did flames freehand. I tried once with the airbrush and it wasn't a pretty picture. So let's try. So we're gonna want to stop the flames, like I want them to go across the side and stop roughly here. So now, you know, why I'm using a white paint, you know, to paint flames. Well, the, what do you call them? The those paints, the contrasts are transparent. Yeah, so they wouldn't show up that much on the black, but they would show up on the white and gray paints very well. So I just want to do, you know, like flames going along the sides and just whipping across and see how this is gonna turn out. Like I said, this is the first time that I'm doing something like this, so don't expect a great results. I'm not expecting great results myself. I'm just expecting something, so yeah. But this is pretty much the same approach that anyone with the airbrush would be taking, first painting the white streaks and then going with some sort of a transparent layer of paint on top of that. So what I want to do first is go with one of the reds. I think that I'm gonna choose the darker one. Then I'm gonna paint over that again with white. And I'm gonna go with the lighter red, and then I'm gonna paint over that again with white again. And I'm gonna go with yellow. I don't think this yellow, I'm gonna probably, well, it is a warm yellow, so it could be. And if I need to, I'm gonna go again and paint with a fourth layer of yellow. So yeah, this was supposed to be an easy build. Yeah. Okay, so I have to actually leave it for a minute, allow it to dry. Once it is dry, I'm gonna be back showing you how this is gonna turn out, with the first layer. Okay, so this seems to be dry in touch. And I did add a couple of drops of airbrush thinner into this paint. And I'm terrified to actually do this step, because if it's screwed up, I'm gonna have to do the entire repainting. But yeah, let's hope it's gonna turn out well. Let's clean this up. Okay, it's not horrible, it is okay-ish. I know you guys are not used to me panicking around the paint job, but yeah, this time I do. So let's go with that. Right? Okay. Right, so we are getting the first flames. This of course now have to dry, so next cut. Okay, so this layer seems to be mostly dry, and now let's just go and do the white paint again. Come on, I want a tip, not two tips. Oh, let's try it. And we're gonna leave, the bulk of this visible. We're just gonna add that new layer of paint that's gonna be sticking on top. And believe me, this is extremely stress inducing for me, because like I said, this is the first time and I'm really happy with this car so far. So I hope it's gonna turn out better than I'm expecting it will. Okay, and we have to give it time to dry again. Okay, so this is the now it's dry, and you can see that in here I have some airbrush thinner and the next brighter, more lively red. So I'm hoping it's not gonna just, you know, blend into one shade. Okay, it's a different, completely different color. Okay, and there we go. Just gonna feather it in. More of it. Well, the original acrylic paint just got reactivated. So I'll be back after I'm back to this step roughly. Okay, so I managed to recover back to this point. To prevent the black paint from reactivating, I did put a layer of matte varnish in there. So this should, you know, protect that layer of paint. And instead of just, you know, slapping this red paint, I'm gonna just try to add it into the white lines. I don't have to be extremely exact, yeah, but just giving a different shade of red into it. It's look a little bit pinky. I think that there's not enough red in here. Let's try add more. Yep, that's better. And you can see that the side of the truck, you know, that change colors, so you're gonna have to do something with that as well. I was trying to clean it up, it doesn't work, so I'm gonna just paint it a different color, you know. This is a farm truck after all, so they probably did, like with this one here, they probably did change a couple of parts over the years. Okay, so that's the layer 2. I know that it's maybe not that visible yet, but there's going to be subtle transition between those two colors. And now we just have to add a color number 3 and probably number 4 later on. So I'm going to just let it dry and paint more of those little lines with the white paint. Oh. Okay, so we are back to this. Yeah, now I'm going to be using orange. Well, this is supposed to be yellow, but you know how it is. And again, just try to avoid filtering everything through the same color. It's not what I was expecting, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So let's just give it one more little push. Hopefully this yellow is still in a working condition. I noticed, unfortunately, those colors, you know, I have them for about 5 years and they really get very chalky and dry inside, even if you do the maintenance to them. So yeah. And this is the brightest yellow that I'm gonna apply here. So yeah, sorry, I was just holding it in the wrong position. Yeah, I think that's enough. Like I said, it's not perfect, but for a first try, free-handing flames, I think that it is somewhat decent job. Okay, now I have to fix this. So let's just grab somewhat bigger brush and give it a undercoat of white. So the entire panel have to be painted white. Now something more detailed. Alright, almost there. Oh, blobby paint. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it and I'll be back after I actually put a blue paint on it. It's gonna be red, blue. Yeah, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so we have a blue replacement part, red replacement part. We have a name of the farm that he's working on, Gobo's Quick Farm. And now it's time to attach the rest of the gibbons. Yeah, so let's just get the super glue and like always be very, sparing with it and not overuse it, because you know how it is. Especially paint on paint, super glue is holding very well always. So there we go. That's the, quick herders little helper. And now this one gonna be in here. All right. I'm just really this is all gonna be held together by help and snot. Hopes and snot, what I said. Hope, not helps. Hope and snot. Hope and prayers. Okay. Go on. And just to save myself hours of waiting for the super glue to dry, let's just go with activator. I think that's one of the back ones. Is this side or that side front? Either or. It's gonna be this. So let's try this way. Oh. It's definitely this side. Holding, yep, it is. Believe me guys, I'm really hoping that this is gonna hold. Just add a little bit in here. That could be the spare. The front. the back. Mostly hopes and some prayers, I would say, for this part at least. And let's add in here. Haha, it works! Somehow, I don't know how, don't ask me. Yeah, the greatest philosophers of this world do not know that. Let's just add some drops in here. Yeah, so just at the edges, because that's really only places that those gonna be holding. So let's do this. And the spare leg. I don't know, like I'm just so delighted with the idea of a spare, you know, leg on the truck. But all of my doubts, you know, go away. So where are we gonna have a contact point? Somewhere here, somewhere here. I think somewhere here. Okay, it's holding, it's holding. Of course the top isn't holding, because why would it ever? So one. Okay, that's actually better than I would expect it. What I was expecting from this build. It's holding together, it is standing, it is somewhat fancy for me. Let's give it a little bit of old-fashioned dirt and grime, because, you know, farm vehicles not really found to be the cleanest ones in the world. So one of those big brushes. Let's get the earthy color and just throw it on the legs, you know, in the mechanisms. In here, definitely on the step. Yeah. The thing is that because of this, how high it is of the ground at this moment, it wouldn't really have that much of a dirt on it. Yeah, but I'm assuming that, you know, when it is walking through the fields filled with squigs, it can really get dirty. Especially if squigs attack it. Oh guys, I have news today. We didn't hear my battle squeak, which is new. Ronald do not want to make appearance today, I guess. So let's just add a little bit of the oxide here and there. Oh, I was thinking that the gun is ungluing, but it's just the door. So let's put a little bit of oxide here and there. Like I said, not too much though. Like I said, he is a car enthusiast, and my wife especially called up the battle squeak to have him making the noise on the video. Yeah, but I think that's it. Yeah, let's just grab the spin table and see how it turned out. So there we have sorry, the orc is talking. Yes, so there we have the 1950s 1970s truck conversion. Yeah, of course, you know, I took opportunity to make it a October build as well, you know, so glory to the Gork and Mork. Yeah, so yeah, if you like this video, rate, comment and subscribe, or the squeak gonna eat your face. And we know that he is a squeak farmer, so you know this is not an empty threat. Yeah. And of course, everyone please share, comment, you know, do all of this YouTube count. We just reached over 600 subscribers. Woohoo! Finally, some new big one. Yeah. And yeah, everyone have a great day and take care. Oh yes.